Health Facts, Tips, Info, Health Check Plus, Health Capsule. Sa Health Check Plus, tutukan natin ang 7 parts ng tips na hatid namin sa inyo ng 7 Sundays. At sa unang bahagi ng aming healthy tips, ikaw ba ay kasulukuyang working from home? Payo ng One Medical Group physician na si Dr. Natasha Withers, mainam na magkaroon ng separate working space para magkaroon ng separation between professional and personal matter. Importante magkaroon ng working space sa bahay para hindi ito makaapekto sa iyong relaxation. Halimbawa, dapat hindi gawin ng trabaho sa couch para kapag hindi na oras ng trabaho, hindi magugulo ng professional obligations ang iyong off hours. At para mas lalong maging healthy while working at home, batay sa registered dietitian na si Julia Zumpano RDLD, kumain ng mga pagkaing mayaman sa vitamin C na siyang kilalang biggest immune boosters. Payo ng University of Michigan researcher na si Mark Moyad MD MPH, dahil hindi praktikal sa karamihan ng tao ang pagkain ng required servings ng fruits at vegetable na kailangan. Anya, mainam na uminom ng once daily supplement vitamin C na siyang safe, effective at easy to do para magkaroon ng full health benefits ng vitamin C. Ilan lamang yan sa mga healthy tips para sa mga working from home. Nabitin ba kayo? Unang part pa lang yan, may 6 pa tayong pag-uusapan kaya dapat abangan. Para sa Health Check Plus, Dennis Antenor Jr. nag-uulat para sa DZRH, ang kauna-unahan sa Pilipinas. Health Check Plus Facts, hatid ng Cydency at Cydency Plus. Vitamin C with zinc, Cydency at Cydency Plus. Available sa The Health E-Store, your online good vitamin and medicine depot. Affordable, convenient, hassle-free shopping. Orders delivered right at your doorstep. Follow us at The Health E-Store, www.thehealthestore.com. Email us at customercare@thehealthestore.com. Ascorbic acid, sodium ascorbate, is the generic name of Cydency. Sodium ascorbate plus zinc sulfate monohydrate is the generic name of Cydency Plus. Wellness tips sa Health Check Plus. Katawan, kagandahan, kagalingan, ating alagaan. Dito lang yan sa Wellness Tips sa Health Check Plus.
Nagbabalik po ang Health Check Plus sa DZRH Radio at Digital TV at maging sa Facebook, YouTube at website. Sa lahat na patuloy na nakikinig at nanonood, ako po si Atty. Mimi Campos Banayat sa Health Check Plus. Sa Wellness Tips, makakausap po natin ang isang attorney. Nagtapos rin po siya sa UP College of Law at magna cum laude sa UP College of Economics. Masasabi po natin naiiba at extraordinary ang karanasan ng ating panauhin. Kakaiba dahil mula pagiging vegan, siya ay naging carnivore. Mahigit 4 na taon na siyang nagpa-practice ng zero carb, zero salt at high fat all animal diet at ito raw ang naging medisina para sa kanyang mga problemang kalusugan. Kaya ito gumaling. Magandang araw, Atty. Asra Conlu.
Namaste.
Atty. Asra, yes. Namaste. Yes, Atty. Asra, we heard that you used to be a vegan. And
Yes.
the concept of vegan versus a vegetarian, can you explain, kasi kung minsan nagkakalito, can you explain
That's
the
right.
difference between a vegetarian and a vegan? Yes.
A vegetarian can include eggs, milk, and fish. We have this thing called lacto-ovo-pesca vegetarian. But when you transition to vegan diet, you drop all animal-derived foods. So it's all fruits, vegetables, and other plant-based foods. No more milk, eggs, or dairy or fish. So it's a streamlined, stricter version of a vegetarian diet. That's a vegan diet.
And Asra, you used to be a vegan.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. For how many years were you a vegan?
I was, but my background is a vegetarian for 20 years. And I experienced a lot of, I wasn't really healthy. I had infertility. I suffered endometriosis, 2 miscarriages. I had fainting spells, arthritis, joint pains, back pains, tinnitus, fungal infections, boils all over my body. So I wasn't healthy for 20 years being vegetarian. I was thinking maybe I wasn't vegetarian enough. So I tried to add more vegetables and to streamline, remove all animal foods as much as possible, because that's what they teach us, right? The mainstream dietary advice is to go plant-based to be healthy. And so I went After being vegetarian for 20 years, I went vegan, and all my health issues only got worse. Yeah. So that's
And
where I
yeah,
explored other diets, and I did extensive research on nutrition, and I discovered this original human diet, which is the carnivore diet, the diet that we've been eating for millions of years. So I was led to that. I discovered that for this is what we humans ate for a great part of our history. Like the diet we have now, the mixed diet of lots of carbohydrates like rice, pasta, bread, together with other plant-based foods, is just from our recent history, 10,000 years ago. That's when agriculture started, which is like a blink of an eye compared to millions of years of evolution when we ate nothing but fat and meat. And in fact, it was fat and meat that made us human. We evolved to eat fat and meat. Oh, well, actually, we didn't evolve to eat fat and meat. We evolved because we ate fat and meat. That's what separated us from from our primate cousins. The primate cousins continued eating plant-based foods, but we started breaking bones for the marrow. And the bone marrow, that was the DHA and EPA, that's what doubled our brain size. And that's what made us human. Eating fat was what made us human. That's what I've discovered. And it's fascinating to me because this is not taught in school. It's not taught even in med school. Because my husband, we discuss about nutrition a lot. And he tells me that no one knows about it among his colleagues. Even he is very much unaware of nutrition in this way. It's just that I happen to be very curious, and I really dug deep into it. I investigated like what really is the proper human diet that will give us vibrant health. Because obviously the dietary advice I followed to the letter didn't give me the health that I wanted. I was 40 at the time when I was starting to feel the degenerative, the decline that comes with age. You're still very young, so I don't think you, but at the time, at the age that I was starting to experience a lot of aches and pains. And the only option was medication. And I refused to do that because I knew that once I start medication, then I will be on medication for life. I was thinking maybe there's a natural way. And the way that was closest to my mind was food, because as Hippocrates said, the father of medicine, that food should be medicine. Actually, that's why I became vegan because I was following the advice to eat plant-based foods as medicine, supposedly to treat us. But from experience, from our combined experience, my husband and I, we realized that they actually cause a lot of our autoimmune issues. Autoimmune meaning our bodies fighting back, because plants, when you really come to think of it, they're not as healthy as we think they are. I mean, they contain a lot of anti-nutrients that when we ingest all plant foods, actually, our body tries to defend itself against these anti-nutrients. The anti-nutrients in plants are like their natural pesticide. It's their way of defending themselves from being eaten. Because unlike animals, that have feet or claws, they can escape from predators. Plants evolved, to protect themselves so that they could propagate. They developed their own defense mechanisms or natural pesticides so that predators will not eat them. So that when we eat them, then they fight us back by destroying our gut. That is why usually plants are used as medicine because they cause stress in the body. But we use them only in small amount. That's the key thing here. We use plants as medicine in very small amount, but not as a food. We shouldn't be taking plant as a food group, like eating a whole plate of salad, because been there, done that. That's what I did when I was a vegan. I was drinking smoothies, green smoothies every day, a big bowl of kale salad. I was doing it really like the organic, clean vegan version, like the works, chia seeds, flax seeds, everything. All the superfoods, cacao powder and everything. But all of those plant anti-nutrients were attacking my body and causing these autoimmune diseases or autoimmune issues like arthritis, all the pains, all the aches and pains that I was experiencing. In the case of my husband, it was irritable bowel syndrome. That was his autoimmune issue. And the moment he turned carnivore, he's also following the same diet as I am, his irritable bowel syndrome went away to his surprise because he's been battling irritable bowel syndrome like for the longest time. And he has tried everything, all supplements possible, and nothing worked. It was only eliminating all plant-based foods because he used to be very fond of salad, as a doctor, he likes to eat healthy, balanced diet, a little bit of this, everything in moderation, a little bit of rice, a little bit of potato, a little bit of salad, and then some meat like that. But it was only the elimination of all other food and eating exclusively meat and fat that completely healed his irritable bowel syndrome. This is like super, it kind of blew his mind.
It's yes, and it's counterintuitive. But this
It is,
all
yeah.
fat and all meat, all fat and all meat diet. Is there a term that you use it for it, or you just call it a carnivore diet?
We call it a carnivore diet for lack of a better term because we don't. But the best way, like Attorney Mimi, that I'm glad you brought it up. I think the best way to call it is the original human diet. It's just too
Original
long.
human diet.
That's the original human diet. That's what we ate.
It
When
is.
the moment we became human, and that's how we became human. Actually, when you really, I also studied anthropology. I dug that deep. Like I looked into anthropology as well because I really wanted to find out what is it. What is the perfect human diet that will give us perfect health? There has to be, right? And I'm glad that I explored it because now my husband and I are enjoying excellent health, and we're both turning 50 next year, and we're both supplement free, medication free, pain free, disease free. Like we're living our best lives now, and we're in our perfect weight. He lost like 40 pounds or 20 kilos. I've lost 20 pounds, 10 kilos effortlessly without any exercise, just by changing our
So,
diet. Yeah, it's,
so
it's
Asra,
carbohydrates that keep us gaining weight. So when you drop the carbohydrates, the fat, the body fat just melts away because all we are eating is protein and fat. Carbohydrates, I've also researched that there is no essential carbohydrate. We don't have a physiological need for carbohydrate. I know it
carbs.
sounds like heresy. It sounds like heresy. I mean, nutritionists are probably, but I have researched that, and I've also experienced that and seen it in myself, in my husband, and in my thousands of subscribers on YouTube because we share experiences there. They're following the same diet as I am, and they effortlessly lose weight because our body's
Mhm,
preferential fuel is actually fat, not carbohydrates.
not
Even our
carbohydrates.
brain, works on the ketone, and we can create glycogen, whatever glycogen we need. We can create it from protein through glyconeogenesis. So there is really no need for carbohydrates at all.
Mhm.
I've been zero carb for 4 years.
And aside from, you said that you felt the effects of the original human diet within a couple of days, a few days, and
Yeah.
but how does one keep fit while being on this kind of diet?
By just doing whatever you love because there is no need for exercise. My husband and I don't exercise at all, but like I've said, we've lost a ton of weight without even trying to. Actually, I'm trying to hold on to my weight now because I don't want to look too thin. But the body recomposition is happening naturally once you start eating the proper human diet. You begin to have like proper body mass. There's no loss of body mass. Like it's still, I mean, of muscle. There's no loss of muscle. Like you have the muscle in the right places. Like women become more, this is what I've observed, women become more curvaceous, like you become more feminine, and the men become more masculine. They get the muscles. And I have like curves in the right places without trying, without doing anything, no intervention, but just eating the right diet. Because on my previous vegetarian, vegan, standard mixed diet, I had a round face and I thought it was genetic. And I realized, no, it was the carbs. because I was eating carbohydrate. That's why my face was like so bloated. It was puffy all the time. And I thought it was natural because all my life I had puffy face. And I didn't know that my face, that I had cheekbones now. I mean, they only appeared now when it started. Like, yeah, I'm like, wow, suddenly I have cheekbones. And also like my body recomposition, my legs suddenly looked straight and like shapely, like more pleasing to the eye. So there's unexpected body recomposition that happens. I'm sorry if I talk so enthusiastically about it, because like it really blows my mind, everything about it. This is why I started a YouTube channel, because I wanted more people to know about it. I was wondering how come not many know about it. Because when I was researching about human diet, I wasn't led to anything. I mean, there was no nothing like this kind of conversation. There was no conversation about it. It was like taboo. Actually, I was avoiding meat all my life. It was like the food group that I wasn't really fond of. So I wasn't interested in that. And I'm sure a lot of your viewers have the same feeling, because meat has been vilified for such a long time. It's being blamed
Yes.
for diseases now, which is, come to think of it, quite funny, because that's what, that was the only food available to us for millions of years. But they don't blame sugar. It's sugar that causes cancer. It's sugar that causes heart disease. It's sugar that causes obesity. And yet no one talks about it. It's as if it's a normal part of our daily life that no one wants to give up. And when you talk about it, they don't like it because people are attached to their favorite food, to their craving. It's like there's an emotional attachment to it. It's almost like a religion, like, don't you take away my sugar, But then if you tell them it's what's causing cancer, it's what's causing diabetes, Alzheimer's, etc. And yet these people are afraid of meat, but they love their sugar. So I mean, but I'm glad we're having this conversation. What we're doing now is kind of revolutionary. It's trailblazing. It's pioneering in the Philippines.
And
It's never talked about anywhere. And I'm glad you're initiating this. I mean, this is like it is a courageous part. I mean, a courageous move on your part.
yes, thank you. In case our listeners or even I would want to go on an original human diet or a carnivore diet, do I need to go to my doctor and consult before I go on?
It's probably
On
the
a,
prudent thing to do. It's probably the prudent thing to do. Although I have to tell you that I don't think there is any doctor who will promote this or who will support the carnivore diet, because even in med school, in nutrition school, all nutritionists, they all shunning meat and fat, and they're all recommending the food pyramid, the high carbohydrate diet. In the Philippines, I think there's only one doctor, Dr. Conlu, my husband, who understands the mechanism of the kind of the original human diet, because he has experienced it himself. He has seen it in me, and I have exposed him to my extensive research, and he's very much aware. He also collaborates with other experts abroad about the carnivore diet, the nutrition behind it. So if you would like to see a doctor, and I recommend Dr. Conlu, because he gets it. He totally gets it.
and we know that you're an advocate for the original human diet, the carnivore diet, but there are so many diets out there. And is there any other alternative diet that you would recommend?
That's a very good question. You know what? If I'm going to recommend anything, it has to be the best. And it is the original human diet. All the others are fad diets. I mean, if you look at it, like the vegan diet and the vegetarian diet, they only started a few thousand years ago, never millions of years ago. This is the only diet that's been tried and tested on humans for the longest time. And this is the diet where we thrive on, the diet that's genetically encoded in our bodies. So this is the diet that I would recommend, nothing else. This is, if you
And
want excellent health, this is it.
Attorney Asra Conlu, the original human diet, is there a message that you want to leave our listeners and our viewers?
Oh yes, please keep an open mind. Start with a beginner's mind, and because that's how I also started. And make sure that you take care of your health, especially in this time of the pandemic. Boost your immunity by giving your body proper nutrition, and try to investigate what proper nutrition really looks like. A good place to start is my YouTube channel, actually, because I explain everything there, the basics, if you really want to look into it. Take care of nutrition. That's number one. Proper nutrition, and also question what you think a really healthy diet should be like, and see how what the diet you're following, how are you feeling right now? Are you perfectly happy? Are you perfectly healthy? Because if not, then maybe it's time to take a second look and try to investigate further. Yeah. And there's always
Maraming
room for
salamat.
learning.
Thank you. Oh yeah. Thank you very much for sharing about the original human diet. So, maraming salamat po Attorney Asra Conlu, at diyan nagtatapos ang Health Check Plus. Ako po si Attorney Mimi Campos Banayat. Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, tandaan, pangalagaan ang ating kalusugan sapagkat ang kalusugan ay ating kayamanan. At huwag kalimutang batiin araw-araw ang ating mga minamahal. Keep safe and keep healthy. Ang Health Check Plus ay production ng Vital PH Science Incorporated kasama ng Manila Broadcasting Company. Para sa mga nakaraang episodes ng Health Check Plus, mag-subscribe sa YouTube channel ng Health Check Plus sa youtube.com/healthcheckplusph.